Today we have the Lenovo Chromebook 3, the 14-inch version, here in the office to unbox. And the reason we wanted to get our hands on this particular device is because a lot of times we're seeing it drop into a sub $200 price category. It's regularly $289, and I wouldn't say to go spend that kind of money on it. I wouldn't think, at least. It's powered by the same MediaTek MT8183 that powers the Lenovo Chromebook Duet. But when Chromebooks dive down below $200, it gets really intriguing to see if what's in the box is actually worth that kind of money. And so we had to find out. So let's check it out. But before we jump in the box, a big shout out to MediaTek for helping make our On the Run to 200K giveaway possible. In case you're not aware, we are on the way to 200,000 subscribers here on the YouTube channel, and as a part of the celebration of that milestone, we have partnered with MediaTek to give away a bunch of cool stuff along the way that's all powered by MediaTek. And so there's all kinds of different prizes. If you're interested in getting entered to win some of that stuff, go down, hit the link in the description, and you can get entered to win. All right, so without any further ado, let's just hop in this box. And again, this is not a real fancy Chromebook that we're looking at here. I want to say we caught it on sale for $160 or something like that, which again is like $120 off its retail. And so that was, again, what caused us to jump in and just see what it's about. Because, again, when you get to that kind of price range, I mean, that's really, really intriguing Chromebook areas there, because a lot of people are just looking for a quick Chromebook. They don't want to spend a ton of money, and when we can find decent Chromebook experiences for this kind of money, it's always a win-win. No surprise here, USB Type-C charging brick. That's a two-piecer. Again, nothing out of the ordinary here, and I don't really expect any crazy extravagant things to go on here. This is likely going to be an all-plastic build, all that kind of stuff. Again, we're talking about the MediaTek MT8183 processor in here, so same thing that's in the Lenovo Chromebook Duet. And honestly, this processor is getting on in age just a little bit, and we're expecting some really awesome processors to come from MediaTek by the end of this year. So the 8192 and 8195 processors should both be really awesome. We're tracking the 8192 to be better than the Snapdragon 7C that's currently available in a handful of Chromebooks, and then the 8195 is going to be way better than both of those chips. So we're excited for those, and I'm excited to continue seeing ARM-based Chromebooks and MediaTek-based Chromebooks hit the market. It's just this chip's getting on in age, and at roughly 10,000 on Octane, it's not blowing the doors off for anybody. One design flourish, though, right on the top is really cool. Hopefully you can kind of catch that on camera, and it's actually textured here. This is all plastic, I can tell just from picking it up. But yeah, there's a nice little texture here. Not really going to do anything, but it's just a cool little design perk. Around the bottom, again, nondescript kind of plastic bottom here. We've got a USB Type-C, USB Type-A, headphone microphone jack, and an SD card slot. Around the other side, nothing. Kensington lock over there. So a little bit minimalistic when it comes to ports here. So again, not really surprising. Oop, there's a different piece of paper. So what is this? That's the keyboard cover. Lenovo Services. Man, check that out. Thank you for your purchase. You're going to love this. 15% off your first services order. Not really sure what that is. I don't know if they're expecting you're going to have a service order or something. So, but hopefully this means that if you call up Lenovo, or there's actually like a scan bar down here. If you can see that there too. I've not seen that, so support. Hopefully they have some support ready. Lenovo is a really big company. A lot of these companies don't tend to have proper Chromebook support when you call them. They don't really know what to tell you when you start asking things about Chromebooks. So hopefully the fact that they're including this means that they've got some stuff in place and they're ready to kind of help you out. So a couple quick things here. I'm going to just power the screen off for right now. That is interesting. The color is really cool. It's a very nice looking color, not just adorned in crazy amounts of stickers, which I always appreciate. I would assume, I know the Energy Star ones peel right off. I would assume that one comes off pretty easily as well, but it's a good looking Chromebook. We have the upward firing speakers, and I noticed as soon as I opened this up, you've actually got the sliding camera cover up here. So we're talking a sub $200 Chromebook. I know it's not retail sub 200, but we got it for less than $200, and you've got a camera slide cover here. This just needs to be included on all Chromebooks from this point forward. This is obviously not some crazy feature. This is very simple, and I'd like to see this on just about every Chromebook moving forward. We do know that this is a TN panel. Again, it just comes with the territory. 14 inches, it is 1080p though, so you're getting a little bit better resolution than you see in some lower end Chromebooks. It is not a touch panel, but it looks like it's a little bit of anti-glare. We'll turn it on here in just a few minutes, but I would expect something in the 250 nit range, and hopefully the viewing angles aren't just abysmal. TN panels tend to have bad viewing angles, so hopefully they're not awful. Upward firing speakers, so we'll turn those on in a second and test them out. And then let's give this keyboard a feel. Yeah, Lenovo's been making really good keyboards of late, and that one feels pretty good. I'd like a little more travel. Could be a little, yeah, just a little more travel. The click is really nice and it's quiet. So, you know, decent keyboard. Again, we have to always think of these things in relation to how much the thing costs, because ultimately, if the device is super expensive, then I expect a really, really nice keyboard. If it's not expensive, I don't expect a very good keyboard. So to have a decent keyboard on a cheaper device, that's kind of a win. Onto the trackpad. Let's give it a feel. Obviously not glass, but a decent click. It's a little bit flimsy, a little bit wobbly. Again, it kind of comes with the territory here of an all plastic chassis, but you know, not a ton of flex in the center of the keyboard. So again, the build just kind of feels good. It's sturdy, not a whole lot of creaking going on. Let's give it a little bit of a bend test here. Not too bad, not too bad. So again, like plastic keyboards or plastic Chromebooks, I'm sorry, a lot of times just when they're all plastic and there's no metal to help support it, especially when it's closed, can get real flimsy real quick. So yeah, that's decently put together. All right, so we cut away and got logged in, and I can tell you after doing that, just spending the couple minutes it took to log into the device, the TN panel here, the screen here, is actually not that bad. So if you pull it back and I kind of get this thing on angle with the camera, you can kind of see it didn't take me forever to adjust it perfectly. And even as I move it a little bit here and there, you're not going to completely lose all the colors. And that's the problem with really cheap TN panels, is that you almost have to have it just perfect to get the kind of viewing angle that will actually work. This one, you've got some room to move it around. It's not an IPS screen, it's not great, but it's workable. And even once you get it kind of on plane with your eyes, if you turn it to the left and the right, you're not going to completely lose colors either. So again, it's not nearly as wide of a viewing angle as an IPS screen would be, but you know, it's not too shabby. So that's kind of a win. Again, in a sub $200 Chromebook, you got to take the wins where you can find them. So I'm going to crank on some music real quick. Let me see if I can find, actually I'm going to go to one of our videos just to make sure. But I can tell you, just in spending a couple minutes and logging in and doing the basic stuff to get going here, you know, don't expect wildly fast performance here. This is still, again, it's the same chip that's in the Lenovo Chromebook Duet. It didn't get faster, it didn't change, it didn't do anything different. It's the same chip. And so you got to remember that you've got to expect that same kind of performance from this device that you're going to get on it. It's still a 1080p screen. It's still 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal storage. So a lot of the specs are the same. It's going to perform a lot of the same ways. Now, that being said, even though I know it's a slower Chromebook, going through the setup stuff and get everything up and running, it wasn't terrible. It's not like it's an awful, awful chip. And if you're going to run a couple Android games, those are going to run pretty nicely on here. So let's get some audio going.
If you have an Android TV, something like a Shield TV or something like that,
it's pretty thin.
This app works. We've tried it. We've tested it.
Let me get back to the intro music here.
Jump in, see how it works, and hopefully it's a great
Real
experience.
thin.
Today's video is brought to you.
Yeah, and so thin, not real loud. So don't let the upward firing speakers fool you. They're not going to blow you away. There's obviously no backlighting on the keyboard here, and the very standard kind of old school Chromebook keyboard layout. So all in all, this is a halfway decent machine, especially again considering that we got it for 160 bucks. Now, if it's not on sale, I would say I don't know that I would go run out and grab this particular device. There's a lot of stuff you can get for close to 300 bucks that's probably going to be a little better, a little faster, maybe have a better screen. I mean, heck, even the Lenovo Chromebook Duet with its fantastic screen, yes, it's a bit smaller, but you get a tablet, a convertible, USI, touch input, all that kind of stuff. So you got to think about it if it's the MSRP we're talking about here. But if we're talking sub 200 bucks, $160, $170, this could be a nice little workstation for home, for a student, something like that. And I think, again, at that price range, it could make for a decent Chromebook experience. But guys, that's it for this one. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, head down there and hit that subscribe button, and be sure to click the notification bell that's right next to that if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. Until next time, we'll see ya.